All right. I don't know about y'all. Like I say, I hear that little thing. I'm just kind of going like do 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 do. All right. Welcome. It is Saturday night, and this is Mental Health Matters. And why are we here? Well, we are here tonight because you and I know, or most of us know, or should be informed, or at least be made aware of, that 2 out of every 3 gun deaths we hear about are suicides. So, if we truly want to help people and we want to lower the numbers of deaths by gun, we truly need to talk about mental health and suicide prevention. And of course, we have our bonus of if we actually pay attention to mental health and suicide prevention, a lot of those things helping us deal with our own emotions and making ourselves happy also manage to help reduce violent tendencies as well. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. I got DJ in the back room here with me, so he's going to shout out to you all. I did see side chat going on before we popped on this evening. And if I'm not mistaken, and Pat, forgive me if I am, but is this your first or second time here? Because I told DJ, I'm like, I don't know. I think I only see Pat at Hillbillies. But anyway, and yes, G23, when I said welcome fine people or look at all you fine people, I was absolutely including you, whether you want to be included or not. So, with that, DJ is watching the chat. I am not, because I'm going to try laser focus tonight. Those of you who've been here for a while, you know that's highly unlikely. I do my best, but my best chance is if I don't look at the chat. DJ will start stuff, and when I stop going blah, blah, blah about the stuff I want to, then I will check out the stars. All right, let's see. What else is going on? The theme tonight. Why don't we like other people? Or what makes us dislike other people? And DJ's like, how are you going to do that? And the truth is like, it's just self-reflection. It's like, what is it that makes me not like somebody? And why are we talking about that? Well, because this week I found myself out there in the world, and I found myself instantaneously not liking someone. And it was a relatively strong feeling. And I was like kind of mad. I didn't like them. And I'm just like, huh, what is that? Why? Why would I not like this person? Never met them, never seen them, probably will never see them ever again. And yet I felt this feeling of ugh when they became into my space. So my question is, do you know why? Do you know why sometimes you just don't like someone even though you know nothing about them? And I've got a lot of experience in this where people don't like me who've never met me and never had a conversation with me because I'm out here in the public eye a little bit here and there locally as a local politician here in Harwington, as a voice for gun owners here in Connecticut. And in the past, when I was part of Women for Gun Rights, I was able to do that in DC as well. So my face has been out there, my voice has been out there, my opinion's been out there. And well, apparently all of those reasons are things, all of those things are reasons why you might not like someone. You may not like the way someone looks. You may not like the things that someone says or does. So, if you guys want to know what my little story was, it was simply that I'm sitting in my car, minding my own business, getting ready to do some errands. It's dark because it's a gray, rainy day. It's drizzling. It's low visibility. And I am pulling into my parking spot. I take it back. I wasn't sitting there yet. I'm pulling into my parking spot, and my family is a little bit cray-cray when it comes to this. And I want to be in my lines, right? So those of you who can relate, you're like, yes, I get it. Other people are like, you're crazy. So anyway, I want to be in my lines. So it's low visibility, kind of yucky out, and no one is around. It's like, it seems like everyone has stayed home. This was an ice storm. It was after the ice storm we had on Thursday. And I'm looking at the lines over here, and I'm moving my car, and I'm kind of getting in there, and then I look up, and there's this dude right there, like right there next to my car. And I'm like, not nice words came out of my brain. And I'm like, what the heck are you just, oh. And I immediately got mad at the dude. And I'm like, I noticed I got mad at the dude. I was like, "Urgh." And then I'm like, I paused and I'm like, huh, he didn't do anything to me. He's perfectly fine to be in this parking space, in this parking lot with me. But I was just like, "Urgh." And I let him walk past my car, and I sat there and watched him go, and he went into the same store I was going into. And I'm like, I don't even want to be in the same space with this guy. This is ridiculous. And I noticed my reaction to this random stranger, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? He didn't do anything. There's nothing wrong. We had zero interaction, and yet I'm feeling all of these crazy emotions. So watch the guy go in, like, oh, I have to go into that store. Why do I have to go in that store? I don't want to be around that guy. And it's just like total random stranger. So y'all ready to know? I will tell you. But that, of course, will be after Mr. DJ has a chance to say hi to everybody. And then I'm going to go back to the starred stuff, and then I'll continue the rest of the story. All right, Mr. DJ, you ready to go?
I am. I'm ready to go, and I'm also ready to welcome in the Crabby Turtle. He's out there, pinky hand waving. G23 is in the room tonight. Pat in a bunker has joined us. So has Patriot in the dark. Hey, fella. Chasing Ghost is out there. Sorry, a fan 93.2 live. Moo has joined us. So is Viejo. Good to see you, fella. Hillbilly Up is out there, but he's driving. Fiona, she's rocking. JH586 and Mark Thomas are in the room. That's your roll call for now. And I'm going to bring a comment up right away. It's this one from Viejo that I'd like to read to everybody. It says, for me, it's typically about not feeling comfortable around folks who are vastly different in philosophy from me. I often have to force myself to take a step back and give myself a broader look. So when you come back in, can you give us a broader look on why you didn't dig this dude right away? I think all of us would like to know how not to make Brooke want to avoid us completely. That was interesting. So what do you got?
All right. So the way this worked. Well, oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll keep my hands off the buttons. Go ahead. Okay.
You're good.
So here, I now want to address both the things that you starred, right? It's the first thing that VO said about not feeling vastly different in philosophy. So here's the thing, VO. I had no concept of what his philosophy was. I was just like, I just don't want to be around this guy. Now, Chasing Ghosts one, trust my gut instinct, travel for a living, learn the hardware. There's this instinctive vibe we pick up on. I suggest listening to it. Absolutely, without a doubt. And this is how the story is going to unfold a little bit further. Because I agree with Tara 100%. I teach my students that all the time. It's like, if you have that gut feeling that something's not quite right, definitely pay attention to it and get the hell out of there. However, that was not this. This was me being frustrated and angry because this is what I thought when I thought upon this. As I'm watching the dude walk into the store, and I don't want to go in the store with him, and I realized how much I was feeling, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Why am I feeling this way? And this is where, for me, I realized it was really fear. And it wasn't fear of the dude. It was fear that I am here intently paying attention to parking the right way, that I allowed someone to get that close to me without me noticing them. So number one, failure in situational awareness. But because of that, the next failure was because I didn't see him, I could have run him over, right? I could have hit him with my car. And so that's failure number two. So for this particular instance, when I dug back into why did I not like this guy so much, it was nothing he did. It was all about my fear of failure and the fact that I could have harmed somebody in that moment, that I wasn't paying enough attention around me to see that guy coming, even though, like, he was off in the corner and I'm looking at my lines. But it's one of those things that I was just like, I was more mad at myself for letting someone get that close, not know what's going on, be fearful that I could have run him over. And that is kind of what I delved down into in that instance. Now, I get to tell you the rest of the story, right? So, yeah, I go in the store. I go get my stuff. I check out. And lo and behold, you know who's right behind me when I'm walking out of the store? It's that dude. And he was pleasant enough. I said, "Hi, how you doing?" He said, "Have a nice night." He was lovely. And that's what made me pay more attention to the fact of why in the world did I not like him in the beginning? So you just never know. Like Viejo said, we don't like being around people we don't vibe with. Like if your favorite color is blue, everything in your life is blue, and you're around somebody whose favorite color is orange, and everything in their life is orange, that does not mix well from a color point. However, at the same time, it works really great if we want to see some high contrast. So we do like being around things that make sense to us. But sometimes that feeling, unlike what Tara was talking about, where we have that spidey sense feeling of this is not cool. That was not my reaction. My reaction was, I'm trying to think of other adjectives. All right, never mind. If there's children, wait, Pat in the bunker. If the mini Pat is there, cover his ears. I'm like, motherfucker, get out of my space, was my initial reaction. And it wasn't the this is a bad dude feeling. It was just me being annoyed because I failed on multiple levels. So I bring this up because as a child, we'll go with 8, 9, 10. Given there? Yeah. No, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's more like it. 4th, 5th, 7th, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and into 7th grade, I was picked on like crazy. And I'd come home and I'd be crying, and it was sad. And my mom just said, "Here's the deal, hon. Sometimes people see in you things they wish they had in themselves. And they might see that light that makes you special, and they want to tear that thing down." And because of my interaction in the parking lot this week, I realized that sometimes we have to realize that that anger that people are pushing off themselves is really about themselves. Where have they failed? Where have they done stuff wrong? What do you scare them? Why do you scare them? What makes them want to just push everything away? Because here I am. How old am I? I am old. No, I'm more than half a century old. My daughter gets very upset when I say that I'm old. She's like, "No, you're not," because she just wants me to live forever. So that's a good thing. My teenager still talks to me. So, see, squirrel. Y'all knew I wouldn't actually stay on topic. So if you don't like anybody, that's okay. There are times when you just don't like something because they've done something to you or because of what something has happened. But this poor dude had no reason for me not to like him. And when we get to, oh gosh, sorry. Sorry, Serena fan. I'm like, oh yeah, working in retail is a whole nother animal because you do deal with all walks of life. And as my Great Start Shooting School is getting bigger, I am dealing with more types of people that I used to, because in the beginning, now that's been 11 years in business, in the beginning, I mainly had referrals. So I had more of the same like-minded people that would show up. Retail, working as a waitress, bartender. Oh yeah, I was a bartender for a couple years. Everyone should do that, or waitress, or bus tables, so that you know what it's like to be a truly servant of the public, because so many people take for granted all of that work that gets done. So anyway, working in the public, very hard, very challenging. You need to have a serious Zen mindset when it comes to all of that, because some people are just dicks. They're just total and complete, unnecessarily rude, insecure, afraid. And that is kind of my point, is that I was insecure and afraid that I could have caused harm to somebody else. It wasn't the creepy feeling. And this is the thing about when you're dealing with someone having a bad day, and some are just plain bastards. Yes. When you're dealing with someone having a bad day, sometimes you got to just ask yourself, hey, I don't know if that person's mom just died or their brother just died or they lost a child or something like that. And I'm not trying to excuse people for being just plain bastards because those people are out there too. But a lot of people never take the time to look inside and figure out, what can I do? Wait, I'm really pissed off and mad at everything's going on in the world right now. And I'm going to show you, because I'm going to just tell you that this is how it's going to be. And you're an idiot for not saying it the way that I want to say it. And, da, da, da. And those poor people. And I do say those poor people because sometimes I'm that poor person. Haven't had a chance to take a breath and think about, okay, wait a second. What is upsetting me about this really? Tony Robbins says, what could this mean when things are not working out the way that we mean to? I think Jamie's out there. I don't know. I always think of Jamie when I think of God. So, oh, funny. I'm like, look at that. And DJ had a thing from you. All right. So Jamie is out there. The Lord has blessed women with a much better sense of discernment than us guys. Yes. Because y'all, oh, good Lord. Yeah, I will. So yeah, men, y'all run into the fire. Women, we want to stay alive and take care of the kids. So yeah, God gave us different ideas of how we're supposed to behave. So, yeah, sorry, that just cracked me up. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you completely, Jamie. But I already forgot what the heck I was saying. So there's that. All right, DJ, help me out, man. Where'd I go off the rails? Like,
well, I think that Jamie has us on the rails there, and the train of thought that I've been on is, one of the things I want to concentrate on through what you're saying is how to shed the stress and being caught by surprise. Because if you're caught by surprise, that puts you on edge. That your source of your insecurity or fear about something, even if you're not in immediate danger. And you need to have a healthy response to that. And a healthy response to stress is not always at the top of our list or our brain's highest priority kind of thing. So yeah, walking and, the walking in someone else's shoes as well. There's a conversation going on between Mark and Tara out there, Chasing Ghosts out there. And I just want to start to key in on that because it is about a difference in perspectives. Let's see, I have to scroll to find. I think it was after Saria's.
Well, I am going to put this one up there because...
That's it. Look at you.
Oh, see, we're on the vibe tonight. We are on the vibe tonight. We got this. Yeah, so motorcycle riders, man. Oof, you want to talk about somebody who's in the defensive all of the time? Put them on two wheels because everything else has got four wheels and much bigger, heavier, and doesn't pay attention. Just like how I didn't see the dude coming up behind me. Same thing. It's like
yeah, I think Mark referring to that heightened sense of needing to drive defensively. I mean, traffic, being in a car, everybody can relate to the stresses of that. And then Tara's down later on. They're agreeing, that they're two-wheeled, and I ride. It's been a couple of years, but again, I can relate to that sort of thing. And then Tara's like, well, hey, we've got where does she say, about 18,000. It's the one right underneath it. Chasing Ghost replying to Mark saying, yes, but try 18 and 46,000 pounds of liquid hitting you in the back. 23 tons of slosh behind you in a rig like that. I can't imagine. I already have a healthy respect for the vehicle based on its size. Sort of thing. And yeah, trying to pay attention to what's going on with them. They have to pay attention to us all the time. And so I'm kind of thinking of people, and I'll use a motorcyclist term, cagers, thinking about all the cagers out there who aren't paying attention to those on two wheels. Right. And those of us on four wheels who aren't paying attention to 18. And I'm sure that there's something that 18 wheelers also have a healthy fear of. I don't see any tanks on tracks running down the interstate sort of thing. But yeah, danger is around us, heightened perceptions, the stress of situations. It's hard to stay calm and to use the higher mind, because we're shifting back to monkey mind, which is like immediate responses. What are we going to do for this? And you kind of having your hackles raised up without even knowing what was up with the dude and how he was going to eventually wish you to have a good evening, sort of thing. Yeah, I think we're a little prejudicial sometimes. We are. I do believe.
Yeah, well, and I mean, and I mean, like I said, there's that happy balance, but the challenge is like right now, everybody's bitching about everything, and it's just like, okay, y'all need to take a breath. Yeah, it's really that easy sometimes, and so I think that's why it has me reflecting more on this because I'm watching all the vitriol, I'm watching the headlines, I'm watching people unnecessarily beat down other people for lack of agreement. So back to Viejo's first thing about, yeah, I don't like hanging out with folks that are like me. I'm like, here's the thing. One of my pillars of belief, I will call it, is that I can love on anybody and I can love on everybody. And the reason I can do that is because I can separate the person from the action. Because the reality of it is, for the most part, the reason we don't like somebody is something they did. And the person is still a child of God, your brother, your sister, another human being. And that's how I can love on them. Once we can look at the action versus the person and realize that, okay, I love the person, I'm not really a big fan of what they did. Because I have had abusive people in my life. I've had psychopaths in my life. I can still love them. I just realize that their behavior is not something I'm going to hang out with, and I can wish them well. And it's one of those things where it's so often we attach one thing to the other, and we don't realize that, all right, I hate you because you did this to me on that day in that decade. And it's like, number one, it's in the past. Number two, you can hate the action if you can bring yourself to the awareness of realizing the action is not always the person. Because I'm relatively confident we have a group of people here who are amazing, spectacular human beings. However, none of us are perfect. We have all done stupid stuff we wish that we had not. And then we've done stupid stuff that just makes for good stories. So the
I have
reality.
a story to tell. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a story to tell. You know what I'm probably going to get into. You know how like there's a thing called fat fingering, like especially when you're working on a phone, you're doing chats and the like, and the text will jump sometimes, and you stab the wrong comment or whatever. Um, I just did more than annoy JH586. Jamie, I need to apologize because as the screen jumped, I timed you out, and your comments were removed, and they were good comments. And so I wanted to let you know that, yeah, that was a production mistake has occurred, and I need to fess up to that one right away. And one of the comments that I can no longer draw up was how anytime he's surprised by something, he's annoyed or aggravated. I think it said aggravated. And so I apologize for the aggravation there, man. And so,
oh no, yeah, because I'm like, I had starred that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's gone. It's not even the
it's
back.
gone.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So in transition, I'm going to bring this up from Viejo. He's offered us a couple of pieces of deep wisdom here, and this one. I work at reminding myself that everyone's reality is different from mine, and strive to view the situation from their standpoint. You want to talk about an elevated view, an elevated style, an elevation that isn't always possible for me, and I see that kind of tension in others. Sometimes that has to be something that comes way after the fact, and working it into the system a little bit earlier would probably be a good idea. So we're keeping my fingers away from the screen sometimes when it jumps. Again, apologies, JH586.
Oh, okay. Well, Jamie, I'm sorry you had a timeout. Actually, yeah. So with Viejo's thing, this is exactly the reason why I say there is no such thing as common sense, because you and I all have a different lifestyle. We have a different upbringing. We have different experiences, right? Like when my students come in and say, hey, what's your favorite gun? I'm like, my favorite gun doesn't matter because this is about you. So reminding that everyone's reality is different. It's like my reality now in 2025 is significantly different than what it was in 2005. 2005, I knew nothing about guns. I had a gun. I was a gun owner, theoretically, sort of, kind of. I went to the range once a year, maybe, sort of, ish. I thought that there was nothing that I could do wrong with my gun as long as I didn't harm anyone with it. Now, 20 years later, I know a lot more about firearms. I've shot a lot more since then. And I realize there are so many laws out there that it's just like, okay, well, that thing, which I thought was not a big deal, 10 round mag ban, for example, not a big deal. There's still bullets in the gun. That's my 2005 Brooke, because I'm like, bullets in the gun, 10 versus 30, who cares? They're now 2025 Brooke's like, wait a second, that's a gun ban. What are we supposed to do with a gun ban? And like just little things like that, where people really mean to do the best that they can with the tools that they have. However, there is no such thing as common sense because we all have a very unique reality as far as what ours is versus somebody else. But one of the things that I love about Coop, for example, is whenever he greets me on his show, he's like, "Hey, Sister Brooke, how you doing?" And I love that, and I wish I could get in the habit of saying that, like, "Hey, brother Coop," but I'm not there yet. Because to remember that we all are just brothers and sisters in humanity. And again, this kind of goes back to that love the person, even if their actions are as dumb as a doornail, because the actions are not what create the entire person. All right, Miss Tara, you have to be zen mentally, be professional, and let it go. Not that I don't have a bit of foul language, but it's safe to blow and I move on. Yeah. There are lots of colorful pieces of vocabulary that come out of this mouth from time to time. They usually stay stuck in the head, but they come out from time to time. And it's so rare. I have a girlfriend from high school, so we're talking 30, 40 plus years at this point. And we were together one day at the casino, and I swore, and she looked at me like, "Oh, you swore," and she laughed hysterically. So yeah, I can be. But Zen is the thing. Zen is what firearms are to me. When I have a firearm in my hand, this is the only thing that matters, because, well, bad things can happen if I don't pay attention. And I've tried that. If you make him a mod, yes, you are welcome to make Jamie a mod if that untimes him out, for sure. Poor Jamie. I'm like, I hope he can still watch. But anywho, Mr. DJ, that is kind of it. We've talked about why we don't like people. Usually it's about us, not about them. Yes, we need to make sure that the spidey sense that says, ooh, that's a bad person, that we listen to and make sure we can figure out the difference between those two. And yeah, remembering to divorce the action from the person, make it easier to love on them, even when their actions are not necessarily spectacular.
Sometimes that self-awareness is like exactly what CNT is saying out here, and I can relate to this strongly. Plenty of people don't like me, laugh out loud. I'm an acquired taste. And he's laughing after that. Gotta laugh sometimes because I can tell that I just rub some people the absolute wrong way. It's just like, hold up, I'm not trying to do that necessarily. And depending on the seriousness of the situation, you just got to let it go sometimes. Like, I'm sorry to have made a poor impression on somebody. I hope that I get a second shot at it. Just like, well, tonight with JP, I know the man is going to give me a second chance kind of thing. But like having that awareness of self, being able to use the higher mind, being able to take that tip from Viejo and, step back and be like, what am I putting out that person, is not enjoying right now?
But also my tone of voice is side of that, right? Is like the dude remember the flip side of that. The dude in the parking lot had no concept that I didn't like him. There was nothing he did or didn't do for me not to like him. So when you think someone doesn't like you, remember, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with anything you've done. And this is our challenge. Like, you are here as a service to the people that are watching and a service to me to help me do this sort of stuff. And it's one of those things where it's just like, we are here to serve others. The reason we are society and the reason we come together, and like I was talking about, we like hanging out with the people that we like. Sorry, and I looked at the next chat. Is because I have something in common. And some people are just not going to like us, and it has nothing to do with us whatsoever. It's totally on them. And so that there is no one size fits all. There is no, oh, this makes sense. If I'd only done this, then they wouldn't not like me. I mean, like I said, I'm a public figure. I just got a scathing email about how horrible I was and how condescending I was in a thing. And I'm just like, well, that wasn't my intention. She didn't get the thing that she wanted at the board. And she's either mad at me because it didn't go the way she wanted, or I unintentionally came off that way, or so many possibilities. And I mean, it's just, sorry, I just can't stop laughing at this. It's like Frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And just for talking about potty mouth, I had never watched Frozen. I did not know what the song sounded like. So one day, innocently on Facebook, I clicked on my girlfriend's post of Elsie singing Let It Go, or so I thought. Instead of Let It Go, it was fuck it all, fuck it all, fuck it all. And I'm just like, great, now I got that stuck in my head instead of the Let It Go song. So,
Look who's back. I'm so glad he's back.
Wait, did you make him a mod? I don't see a little wrench next to his head.
I had not done that yet. It was a 300-second. It was long enough to go like freshen up a coffee or check an email or something like that. But I'm glad Jamie's back. And Jamie's asking, he has a serious question. He says, do you all even open emails from NRA anymore?
All right. So yes, but as an instructor and as a training counselor, those are usually the emails that I'm opening. Because I need to see what the training updates and that sort of stuff are. Let's be real. If I opened up my email account right now and I showed you, I have at least 30,000 unopened emails. So it's not just the NRA if I'm not answering stuff. I actually just went to the Great Outdoor Show for the first time ever on Monday. That feels like a really long time ago. I got some really cool stuff in there and visited the NRA booth as well, and got cool toys, which I'm hoping to get up on the YouTube sometime in the near future. All right. Oh yeah, no. Ability to feel others' pain. Can't watch bike crash videos because I literally feel the pain. It hurts. Empathy because I've been there. It's human quality, an important one. Yes. It is absolutely important to understand how we connect to one another. At the same time, it's also super important for us to really pay attention to us, because like DJ was just saying, it's like, what am I putting out there? And the more zen we can be, I don't want to say the easier to deal with stuff like that, like when you see somebody else in pain, because suffering is suffering. It's suffering is hard, and this is why we're, again, a society. It's because we need each other to help each other, pick each other up. Sometimes we need somebody to throat punch somebody for us. There's lots of reasons. Oh, it's a garage guy. What the heck? Everybody's coming over from Hillbillies. Y'all are going to miss the green room. So, anyway, let's see. What's CNT? I'm dual skilled. I can feel others' pain and still laugh at it. Yeah, I am in trouble. The one time I remember my husband getting pissed off at me was my son fell down. Now he's 4 or 5 years old, and he's running down this hill, and he trips and falls flat on his face. My stress response is to laugh hysterically. And my husband was like, what is your problem? I'm like, so I not only feel others' pain, but I laugh at it really loud. And the more I feel it, the harder I laugh. So I could not be a good medic, I don't think. So, Jamie, let me know if you go to the annual meeting in Atlanta. I will see whether or not I can make it, because my goal is to actually get to at least one of these events, one of these times in my life, because so many of my friends go to all of them all of the time. And yes, I too am a life member. And yes, from time to time, I actually do still give them money, because without them, I don't have a certificate to give out to my students. Without them, I don't have all the educational materials that I give out to my students. So just like people, organizations are not always going to do all of the things that you want. And just like my sign up there that y'all can't see, it's like, take what serves you, leave the rest behind. So with that, since we were talking about we're talking about Hillbilly Up's show, which comes on next at the top of the hour. And we got half the panel in here. Hillbilly is up, which means he's going to be opening up the green room in there shortly for all you panel members. And I'm going to let DJ sign us off, unless DJ, did I miss every... so hold on. Yes, so G23, I am a USCCA instructor as well as a USCCA training counselor as well. So I actually play in both of the fields, because NRA is awesome for marksmanship, training, safety, and I'm super glad my first 10 years were there. And then USCCA is definitely more on the mindset, awareness, self-defense stuff. So I do it all, kid. All right, with that, I swear, DJ, I'm going to shut up now.
Right on. I want to bring this comment from Gun Websites up to the screen. I was listening to his program earlier. The program on his channel, Ask Gun Questions, is going on Saturdays on the Gun Websites show. You should check that out. He says, NRA is electing new board as we speak. It's a new organization. Giving people and organizations, and those sometimes that we no longer trust or wish to be in the same room with, giving second chances is a thing. And sometimes that's really, really hard to do. I know that I have been wanting second chances from folks many times and had relationships or situations fall towards the negative or the unresolved, or the I wish it had gone differently wayside. And just being open to the idea that things can change. Sometimes they will. It's not always going to be a payday for you. But I think that by dedicating yourself to that openness, you don't bring as much negativity in. I mean, if you're just hanging and if you put yourself in limbo, if you head check yourself and you stay on the margins and you don't make those hard, a hard decision about something, sometimes people or organizations or situations can move towards the better or maybe just neutral. It's a really hard thing to do. Those are higher concepts. I appreciate all the conversation out there tonight and some of the faces I don't see very often making their way into the chat. It's been great. Next week, everybody, bring a friend. Don't forget to thumb up the live stream right now. You can still share it out and somebody will click on it, and that will help the algorithm to bring this program to other people. And some of the people who will be doing that for me, I know you will. We have G23 out there. Krabby Turtle was out there tonight, so is Pat in a Bunker. Patriot of the Dark joined us. Chasing Ghost is out there, driving it and keeping it safe. Sorry, fan 93. Hey, how you doing? Two Live Moo was here. So was Viejo. Hillbilly Fiona was here. Rock. Garage Guy 879. Mark Thomas. JH586. Jamie is back in the room and back in the saddle again. Brooke, thank you very much for the program. Everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. Until we see everybody again. Be safe. Have fun. Take care of your crew and yourself. And rock, we're out.